The Evening News with Brenda Wood starts now.
Good evening. Thanks a lot for joining us. I'm Ted Hall in for Brenda tonight. A crucial meeting of the Republican caucus to find a new Speaker of the House was held today, but the media was forced to leave the meeting. If the media doesn't know what happens, then taxpayers can't know. News 11 Live's Jay Watson reports 2/3 of the caucus voted to keep today's meeting private.
The meeting was to talk about Speaker candidates and to clear the air. But Republican lawmakers said the meeting was closed to the public, meaning us reporters.
I move that we keep the meeting open to the public so that there will be no misunderstandings, no hidden agendas.
May I ask a question, please? Yes. Why can we not have a standing vote? So that way it's very clear who supports open government, who wants to close the meeting.
Lawmakers voted anonymously 68-22 to close the meeting. The media was forced to leave.
It's a shame that only 22 Republicans believe in open government. That's part of the problem we have down here.
Why do you think 68 lawmakers want us out of here?
Well, they have an agenda probably, and they're not for serving the people, they're for power.
Hasn't too much privacy gotten lawmakers in trouble?
More than happy to answer an interview in the hall with them right now. He's more than happy to go out, but we're in executive session. Thank you.
The governor, who didn't vote and didn't stay long at the meeting, weighed in. What do you think about the fact the media wasn't allowed to stay in the meeting?
I don't invite the media when we're having a family discussion in my home either, and I think that's their decision. They made that in a vote, and so that's their decision.
3 hours later, the meeting was over. The election for Speaker announced for next Thursday. The search is on for someone who won't embarrass a party already wounded by Speaker Glenn Richardson's scandal. Someone without extramarital girlfriends, conflicts of interest, or other career-damaging secrets to hide.
Whoever puts themselves up for Speaker is going to have to answer those tough questions to the caucus to get their support.
In Midtown, Jay Watson, 11 Alive News.
Representative Franklin of Cobb County is joining us now. First of all, you were the one who stood and said maybe we should leave this meeting open. Why did you do that?
Well, in politics, perception is reality. And right now, the perception of our Republican caucus is that things aren't open and above board. And I thought the best thing to do to help the caucus move forward was for the meeting to be open so that there would be a demonstration that we were willing to lead in a new era. Unfortunately, that didn't happen today.
Representative Keene said if someone's going to kind of stick their neck out, then they better have no skeletons in the closet. Is it going to be difficult to find somebody to take a leadership position who doesn't have skeletons in the closet, who doesn't have girlfriends or something like that, that scandal that is already existing?
Well, we would hope that would be the case. Unfortunately, as we saw today, the ability for the rank and file members of the caucus to express opinions was also pretty well shut down. The only people that seem to have that integrity, we hope they'll come forward. And Barry Loudermilk's name is floating around with blogs and Facebook groups. Obviously a man of impeccable character, and that's really what we need in our leadership is character and integrity.
Now, the internet blogs, they're full of whispers, rumors at this point that this could be just the tip of the scandal iceberg, that there is more out there. First of all, what are your thoughts on that? Are there some more scandals that we're going to be hearing about in the future?
I sure hope not, but that doesn't mean that they're not there. One of our chairmen told us that she was really concerned that because she knew of other scandals out there that hadn't come to light, and I think that's going to be very detrimental to our caucus, which is why we need things to be open, need things to be above board, so we can move forward in leading the state.
Were there some secrets? Was there some clearing of the air saying, now we're not going to be able to pick this person because of X in the closet? Or what kind of secrets were revealed today in that closed meeting?
Absolutely none, which was really disappointing. Why did the meeting need to be closed when everything that was discussed was already out in the open anyway? That just didn't make sense.
There's a petition being circulated, in fact, by a Republican to eliminate all House Republicans in seats of power right now. Is the party fractured? Is the party in trouble?
Well, that's two questions. I think, is the party fractured? No, we saw that with only 22 out of the 105 wanting openness. So the overwhelming majority wants the status quo, which is the problem. And because of that problem, I do believe our party and our caucus is in trouble.
All right, Representative Franklin, we do have a few viewer comments that we want to try to bring on the air here and just see if you have any comment on these. The governor should recall a commitment he swore to conduct the people's business. The governor said today that he wouldn't invite the media into a family event, calling this a family event. Here's another one. I think the word private, as used in this sentence, says it all. How about investigating the liberal Democrats for a change? Okay, those are two different issues here. First of all, the governor agreed that today's meeting should be closed. We should mention that there's nothing unusual about meetings being closed. You do it all the time.
Right.
The point is, at this juncture, there is so much innuendo flying around that you may want to go above board to try to keep things on the up and up. Like you said, perception is reality. The governor said the meeting should be closed. Your thoughts on that?
Well, calling what we were doing the same as a family gathering together around the table really isn't an apples to apples comparison, because we are elected by the people to do the people's business. None of us were there talking about our own families. So in this era where we need to show that we are doing things and will be doing things in the future differently, that meeting today needed to be open.
All right, to address the other viewer question, are we being unfair to the Republican Party? Is the same thing going on in the Democratic Party right now? Should we not be looking at the Republican Party as closely as we are?
Well, I believe that everybody is fair game, but we have been given the opportunity and the awesome responsibility by the people of the state to lead. And the issue is, are we doing it? Are we demonstrating by our actions that we are willing to be open and above board and actually do those things that the civil government is tasked to do, which is to secure the life, liberty, and property of our citizens?
Glenn Richardson resigns in scandal. Mark Burkhalter says he is going to accept the position and then says he decides not to. How much does this rock the Republican caucus?
Well, I'm not certain that it rocked them at all, which we saw with the vote of only 22 wanting openness, particularly when on the caucus conference call where Glenn was announced to us his resignation, Mark was saying that rumors of him seeking another position were not true. He was committed to the caucus, and then just a few days later saying everyone knew he was looking at another position and therefore was stepping down. This is a reason why we needed openness so we could truly address these issues. Unfortunately, the agenda today was the leadership telling us what we were to do.
Is there some major work to be done now to get things where they should be headed, at least in your opinion?
Well, I believe that there is. And the question remains, will the caucus stand for those principles of limited government that we campaigned on, or will we, like our majority leader Jerry Keene says, the things that we say when we campaign have no bearing on how we govern? So the question is, will we govern the way we campaign, or will we follow our current leadership and do the opposite?
Representative Bobby Franklin, we do thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. It's my honor.
We also want to mention we asked Governor Sonny Perdue to come in and talk with us this evening, but he declined our invitation.